If you say you love books and you've never bought a book just for the cover, you're lying to yourself and you're lying to me. Just accept it. We all love a beautiful cover. Okay, so hi, my name is Samantha. Today I'm going to show off some of my books because I love books and I collect books, and what better way to use BookTube other than to show off all the books that I have spent time finding and reading and displaying on my shelves. To start off, I'm gonna go with some of my favorite paperbacks. I have no preference when it comes to paperbacks or hardbacks. FYI. Let me get cozy, hold on. First book is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. It's been forever since I have read this book. I believe, if I remember correctly, it's like a coming of age story in the 1930s / 1940s. I really need to reread this. This is on my reread list. Hopefully if I ever get to it. If we stop publishing good books, I might eventually end up on my reread list, but highly doubt it. Anyways, I've always loved, since the days of, I think it was a series of unfortunate events, I've always loved the ridged edges on the sides, so all of these books have this, as well as the color scheme of this one. I love also the parchment feel. All these books have like that parchment feel to them. It just feels homey. It makes me want to read it. I can't help myself. Okay, so this is number 1. Let me see. And then I have To Kill a Mockingbird, same thing. These are both what, Harper Perennial Modern Classics. And I guess it came out with a couple of these editions. It has the envelope edges, that's what they're called. And the orange and green also has the tree. The spine is what gets me on this one. I love showing the spine on this one on my bookshelf. What can I say? And then one of my favorite books of all time, and I don't know how much, I reread it every year. East of Eden by John Steinbeck. If you haven't read this book, you need to read it like now, yesterday, the day before. It is a classic, fair warning, it is a classic, but it's a really good classic. Yes, East of Eden. This one doesn't have the parchment pages. This is the Centennial Edition. This is beautiful blue, off-white, envelope edges. Makes me want to read this one. I have like a really, really old edition of East of Eden, and that's the one I always reread, but I think I'm eventually gonna have to reread this one and annotate this one as well, for sure. The next book is Egg and Spoon by Gregory Maguire. I haven't read this book yet. I have no idea what it's about. I don't even know where I saw this. I think another booktuber was talking about this book and I saw it at Half Price Books and I picked it up. It was half a cover buy, I'm not gonna lie to you, obviously, since I don't even know what it's about right now. This reminds me, I don't know if it's set in Russia, because this reminds me of like one of the Russian gilded eggs, and it's so beautiful. So the font too, like I love this font. I'm not a graphic designer, so I can't tell you what that's all about, but I still love it. The next book, as everyone in 2019 who likes YA and fantasy and adult, Erin Morgenstern came out with The Starless Sea, and I think everyone has a beautiful edition of this book. Like, it's hard not to see a beautiful edition of this book. I personally went with the UK edition. It has the gold bumblebee and the pink and the blue. And I love the mismatchness of this. Let me see if I can get it. Like the mismatch, how it's all the same color tone but different graphics. I love that about this. Actually, yeah, like I said, I went to the book depository and purposely bought the UK edition, which normally I don't do. But love this one. I could rant about this book because I really wanted to love this book and I love flowery, fantastical writing. I did not love this book, as sad as it is. And I feel like, I don't think I'm the only one with that feeling, a disappointment when it comes to this book. I got so lost, and I don't know if I should add it to my reread list and try it again because it was so disappointing. But it's so beautiful. So I do display it on my shelf. Actually, I display it right here. Ooh, right there on my shelf. And people are gonna ask me about it. I'm gonna be like, well, I actually really didn't like it, but the cover's pretty, right? The next two are Rick Riordan books, The Trials of Apollo. Actually, this whole series, I really like these covers. They have a great color scheme to them. This one's the green and yellow one. I think these are great. See, look at me, I'm like staring at it like, I think it's great, but I love this color scheme. I also like the way that these ones feel. They're like the really floppy middle grade books. I love it. And then the other one is Race to the Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I read this book a while back. I love it though. Her most recent book was Black Sun. She just came out with a sequel to Black Sun. I believe it's a duology, but this one is good as well. It is based off of like Native American mythology. I want to say it's mythology is the correct term for that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, it's really good. I hope people read this book because it is. I like it a lot. It was very interesting, very entertaining, short book, really easy to read. I flew through it. It was great. The next book is a Barnes & Noble's edition. I have a couple of these, but this one I really love, and it's the Jules Verne edition, and I think it's because of the olive tones. The olive, and then the orange, and the yellow, and then the inside has like these beautiful muted hot air balloons, and you saw me playing with it already. The ribbon, gotta love a ribbon. The beautiful compass on the back. You could honestly just get like a tattoo of that compass and it would be beautiful. The gilded edges. Who doesn't like a painted edge? I always see everybody else with their owl crate and their fairy loot boxes and all the beautiful books that come with those, but I can never convince myself to go and buy them. I don't know what it is. I think I like finding these books. I like finding these books in bookstores, the beautiful editions I didn't even know existed. I like going to like thrift stores and antique shops and finding books that are just beautiful and just like, I don't know, just like happening upon them. Maybe that's what I like. I don't know. The next three books are this 2019 Snake. If you read YA, you know what I'm talking about. The YA Snake I'm about to show you. But I'm a sucker. What can I say? Like this is Serpent and Dove, the gold, and like this greenish black. And then of course, like I said, the snake. I love the snake on like all of these covers. I just recently read this book. I'm in like this YA fantasy romance kick right now. So I read all of Sarah J Maas. I read the ACOTAR series. I just read Crescent City. I am thinking about reading Throne of Glass for sure. There's a couple of other books from Blood and Ash. You saw that on my TBR for October. I'm just in that kind of mood. I'm embracing it. I'm fully embracing it. But Serpent and Dove for sure. I need to get Gods and Monsters and finish this. I'll tell you what I think about the whole series when I finish it. And then once again, I picked up this book just because I want to show you, like, I love the snake. This isn't even a YA book. This is an adult book for sure. Instagram, I have a review for this book. I love this book as well, but it is definitely an adult book, so look up your trigger warnings for this one. However, this is gorgeous. I love the snake. And there's so many other editions. Like I said, the Owl Crate, the Fairy Loot. I think that even the UK edition is different. They had like first editions that were different. I just love it. Ugh. And then the final snake, Girl Serpent Thorn. This is the one that started it. I actually picked up this book and then I was like, oh wait, I have so many other books with that graphic on it. I gotta go find them. But Girl Serpent Thorn with the pink and it's almost white, but it's also green. And then, as I said before, tons of other editions of this book, and all of them are gorgeous. Absolutely love it. I also really love this book, by the way. I don't think this was as big of a hit when it came out. Not as many people enjoyed it. I loved this book though, and I think it was more of like a personal aspect. Like I identified a lot with the main character in this book, and I found a lot of like, I annotated this book, so like I found a lot of things that that spoke to me in this book that may not have spoke to other people, but definitely love this book. It's short enough that I feel like I can just recommend it to people, and if you don't like it, you don't like it, but like you should definitely pick it up. You actually, we'll discuss that book later. I get like a whole rant about it. The next book is Ariadne, and it is the dark blue to the orange and these orange tones. I am not as big of a fan of the graphic in this book. However, the colors and the color tones. This is another book I display along with Girl Serpent Thorn on my other shelf. I displayed this one as well just because I love it. Books of the month. They have some pretty, I like how they're all the same size too. It makes it so much easier to display them because they're all the same size. The last book, this was my favorite book of 2019 by far, This Tender Land. Everyone should read it. It's beautiful. It makes me want to cry. This is one of the books that make me want to cry and then make me not want to read any other book. Like, massive book hangover when I finished this book, for sure. I loved it. But once again, it's those bluish, orangish, pinkish, green tones that I absolutely love. I can't get enough of them. They're all over my house too. I just love them. Oh, and then since I'm trying to sell this book, I'll go ahead and tell you, This Tender Land is about two boys in the 1920s during the Great Depression and their journey across the United States. This is gorgeous. I love this. Beautiful book. Annotated the crap out of it. Okay, and then I have a couple, once again, if you didn't notice, I take the covers off of my hardbacks to display. It's a thing right now people are doing, and I'm very much into it. So these are a couple of my honorable mentions. The Empire of Gold. I'll have to put the actual, I'll see if I can't put a graphic right here of the actual cover, but this one was beautiful. The Merciful Crow. This one also has those red, blues, pinks graphics. If you watched my unhaul, Arch Nemesis and Supernova also have those colors, and I absolutely adore them. And then like I said, the last but not least, my Sarah J. Maas marathon this year, this summer, Crescent City, and the newest cover of the next book in the series. What is it called? This one is of House of Earth and Blood. The other one's like House of Sky and Sea. Oh my gosh. Anyways. You think that I would know, because I love this book. Can't wait to read the second book, but it has a blue cover to it in the same fashion that this one has that beautiful red cover. And I'm super excited that I got the hardback so that I can display them together because they look gorgeous together. Once again, red and blue. Who would have thought? I like red and blue. Anyways, that was how many books? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I kept it to 16 books. I could have shown you all of my shelves because I'm super proud of all of my books and how they look together. You know, it's hard curating books like I'm a freaking librarian or something, but yeah, so those are a few of my books. If you liked this video, I can definitely do another one. I have tons of more that I can show off and show to you guys. If you have any books that you love, put them down in the comments below so that I can go look at them and decide to buy them. I'm sure my family will love that, spending more money on all the books, because what are we if we're not book nerds here? All right, hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Enjoy, or day, night, wherever you're at. And stay tuned, more content coming. Make sure you subscribe and like down below. Leave a comment about what book you are most proud to show on your shelves. I will look into it. I will buy it. I'm a sucker. What can I say?